Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where we have one of the most disturbing stories I've ever seen on this subreddit. Am I the butthole for leaving my boyfriend for no reason? I'm a 26-year-old woman, and I've been with my now ex-boyfriend, Eric, who's 28, for 2 years. Overall, we've had a good relationship. Nothing crazy, until last night when things completely fell apart. We were out at a bar with some of his friends, just having a normal night. Drinks, food, the usual. Eric and his friend, Mark, who's 28, were joking around, and Eric made a comment about how much Mark was eating. Something like, "Careful, Mark, you'll eat the whole damn bar." It seemed harmless at first, just typical guy humor. But then Mark looked right at me and said, "If only she knew." It was one of those moments where you instantly feel uncomfortable, like there's something going on behind your back. I had no idea what Mark was talking about, and the whole vibe at the table shifted. But before I could even react, Eric exploded. He went off on Mark, screaming at him to shut the F up, and even tried to get physical. His other friends had to hold him back. Mark didn't really react, which only made Eric angrier. The whole thing was awkward as hell, and we ended up leaving early. When we got back to my place, I couldn't stop thinking about that comment. So I asked Eric, what the hell did Mark mean by "if only she knew"? What don't I know? And instead of just answering me like a normal person, Eric lost it again. He started yelling at me, telling me to drop it and stop being paranoid. He was dodging every question, getting more pissed every time I brought it up. I wasn't trying to pick a fight, I just wanted to know what was going on. It felt like there was something important being hidden from me, and I wasn't about to let it slide. But every time I asked, he'd just get more defensive and angry. Finally, he stormed out of my apartment. He doesn't live with me, so I locked the door and called it a night. I didn't hear from him until this morning, and when I did, it was just more angry texts telling me to drop it and leave him alone. At that point, I was done. I'm not gonna sit around and be treated like I'm crazy just for asking a simple question. I texted him back saying we're done, I need space, and if he can't be honest with me, then I don't want any part of this relationship. End of story. Now, here's where it gets worse. He's been going around to our mutual friends, telling them that I left him for no reason, and trying to make it seem like I'm the one who overreacted. Some of them have even reached out to me, saying that I should have just let it go and that I'm blowing things out of proportion. I told them to mind their own effing business. I don't care what they think. None of them were in that moment. None of them saw how he acted. And none of them have to live with the pit in their stomach that I've had since that weird comment from Mark. I'm not about to stay in a relationship where I feel like something shady is going on behind my back. If Eric can't be straight with me after 2 years, then what's the point? So Reddit, am I the butthole for leaving him after this? Then OP posted an update. I feel like I'm living in some kind of twisted nightmare. The more I try to make sense of it, the worse it gets. Mark called me today while I was at work. I didn't expect him to call me because he had been ignoring me, so I stepped outside to take the call. Then he told me something that I never in a million years could have prepared for. He told me that Eric has been putting other men's semen into my food, into my food, drinks, skincare, shampoo, conditioner, and even my toothpaste. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being dramatic. That's what Mark said. Eric, oh my fucking God! Eric has apparently been hooking up with random men, having them finish into cups, and then using that in my meals and drinks like it's some kind of sick joke. Even as I write this, I'm still in complete disbelief. Who does that to someone? Mark said that he found out about this a week ago, but for some reason, it took him that long to tell me. A week. I've been living my life completely oblivious, trusting Eric, someone I loved while this was happening behind my back. I feel so betrayed, so disgusted, so violated. When I asked Mark if he and Eric were having an affair or if this was some sort of twisted thing between them, he swore they weren't. And he even made a gross comment about not wanting to touch Eric because who knows what diseases he has. That made my stomach turn. I'm getting tested for everything now because I don't know what's been inside my body. When I got home, I went straight to the kitchen. Mark told me to check under the sink, and there were the cups. hidden behind the cleaning supplies. I lost my mind. I threw out everything in the kitchen and bathroom, even stuff that I knew wasn't touched. I don't care. Everything feels contaminated now. My home doesn't feel like a safe space anymore. Every time I walk into the kitchen, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I can't even function without my mind going to dark places, thinking about all the times that I had no idea what was happening. I don't have any solid proof of this. It's just Mark's word and those disgusting cups, and I feel so powerless. If nothing can be done about this, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. How is this even legal? How can someone get away with something so vile? I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust anyone again. This whole thing has been messing with my head in ways that I can't even explain. I feel dirty. I feel like I've been violated on such a deep level, and there's nothing I can do to undo it. My mom wants me to check into a hospital just to make sure that I'm okay mentally, and I'm honestly going to do it. I don't feel stable right now. I don't feel like myself. I'm scared that I might hurt myself or someone else. Eric was eating the same food. He was eating the food that he'd contaminated right alongside me. Was it a kink? A power trip? I don't even know anymore. All I know is that the man that I thought that I knew, the man that I loved, is a complete stranger to me now. I can't believe I've been living with someone capable of something so vile. Yo, this dude straight up belongs in jail. He's getting the full 5 out of 5 buttholes. Will I be the butthole to divorce my wife after she said she wanted to send our son to a conversion camp? I'm a 45-year-old man and my wife is 44. We've been married for 14 years. We have 2 kids, a 16-year-old son, Noah, and a 12-year-old daughter. We've had our fair share of disagreements over the years, of course, but things have generally been smooth between us. Now, for context, Noah came out as gay about a year ago. It was a surprise, and as hard as it was to accept, I love my kids more than anything, and I just want their happiness. My wife visibly didn't take it well, though. She was upset and seemed to go through a grieving period where she didn't really talk about it. I tried to support Noah in every way that I could, telling him that I loved him no matter what. My wife, though, I could tell that she was not on the same page. She would say things like, "This is just a phase," or "He needs help," but I brushed it off as her needing time. Fast forward to last week, and we were having a conversation about Noah's future. Out of nowhere, my wife casually mentions that she's been looking into conversion therapy camps and things that might be the right solution. She said that Noah isn't truly gay, that he just hasn't been shown the right path, and that this could fix him. My blood ran cold, obviously because I was in shock. I immediately told her that I didn't agree and that this was not something I could support. She got upset and said that I was enabling Noah's confusion and that if I really cared about him, I would help him get better. What the hell is wrong with her? She was persistent, and no matter how much I tried to explain that conversion therapy is harmful, like I know those kids get abused, R-worded, and often end up either traumatized or killing themselves, and that I would never send our son to something like that, but still, she wouldn't back down. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't think I love her anymore. The fact that she could be so heartless disgusts me. I know that being gay isn't easy, and people like her just make it even harder. I'm considering staying only for our daughter's sake, but would that be okay if it means hurting my son? It feels like a betrayal to Noah. I just don't think I can keep living with someone who thinks this is okay. Then, one day later, OP posted an update. All of you told me to try to get Noah out ASAP, and y'all were definitely right. So yesterday, I took the day off and went to see an attorney just to get some info about divorce. But after what happened next, I'm 100% sure that I want a divorce ASAP. Yesterday, I went to pick up Noah from school, and as many of you suggested, we had a long discussion. I basically told him that his mom and I may be getting a divorce because she wants to send him to a conversion camp, but I can't accept that. I've talked with her many times, and I told Noah that I'll probably go through with it. He looked really hurt, but was very understanding and thanked me for standing up for him. I pulled him into a tight hug and told him I'll always love him, no matter what, and that nothing is his fault. At that moment, he started crying because he was so glad that I was at least on his side. So apparently, his mom had been pressuring him for months. She planned dates with girls to try to fix him, and he had to lie by saying that he was going to a friend's place instead. She was saying that he needs help, and as much as she loves him, he needs to get his condition cured. I feel so bad because I've been so oblivious to all that, and I failed to protect him for all that time. How do you make your 16-year-old son go through that? So when we got home yesterday, I can't lie, I was furious and confronted her right there and then. At first, she was trying to explain that she was doing it for him, but her speech quickly turned to slurs, and it was clear that she was just ashamed of having a gay son. In the end, I told her that I went to see an attorney and that learning all that just confirmed that I want a divorce. She got really angry, calling me a delusional disgrace, and we argued a lot. And at some point, Noah tried to separate us, but my wife punched him multiple times. She was saying disgusting things like he's a dirty F slur and that it's all his fault we're getting divorced because his filth corrupted me. My daughter, who was probably in her room, came to see what all the commotion was about and was rightly horrified and quickly called 911 when I told her to. Long story short, the cops got there and took her away. She was very reluctant to go because she said that she wasn't in the wrong and she said they had to let her go. I explained everything to my daughter, and she doesn't want anything to do with her mom anymore. Right now I'm in the hospital because my soon-to-be ex-wife broke my rib while I was restraining her. I should have probably gone as soon as the cops took away my wife, but I don't know, my son was crying, and he had a black eye and a split lip. They're currently checking him for a concussion. And obviously, the only thing I cared about was to comfort him because I can't even imagine what it can feel like being beaten by your mom for being gay. I'm planning to file for full custody, of course, and my kids don't want to see her ever again anyways. Given all the charges she's facing, I hope she won't stand a chance against me. I just sent the paperwork to my attorney, and I hope the procedures will be fast. I've also thought about getting CPS involved, but I'm not sure that they'll help. Hey guys, do me a favor and don't beat kids. That's pretty wrong, it's pretty evil. Don't abuse kids, don't torture them. You know, that's just like scum of the earth type behavior. So OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. You did the right thing here. I'm giving your wife 4.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for pretending that I didn't know my ex? I'm a 29-year-old woman, and I was in a secret relationship with Shane, a 27-year-old guy, for 2 years. The relationship was a normal relationship, except nobody knew about it. Because I'm a bigger girl and I've never been in a relationship, so I didn't push the issue. After 2 years of Shane living with me, I came home to all of his belongings gone. I tried to call him, but he blocked my phone number and blocked me on Snapchat. He completely ghosted me. I find out through a mutual friend that he was in a public relationship with a woman named Jess. It hurt, but I couldn't change anything, so I just accepted it. 3 weeks ago, which is 1 year after he ghosted me, I heard that he was supposed to marry Jess, but he caught her cheating. I also heard that his grandmother passed away last month. Last night, I ran into him at the grocery store. He walked up to me and said, "Hey, how you been?" I looked at him funny and said, "I'm sorry, do I know you?" He was stunned. After a second, I walked past him and continued on my way. I told a mutual friend who said that I was cruel and mean for doing that when he's going through a rough time. The friend doesn't know about the secret relationship. Am I the butthole? Then OP posted an update. He sent me a friend request on Facebook. I blocked him. Shane contacted my older sister asking about me. My older sister is the only person who knew about our secret relationship. She took me to the hospital when I had a miscarriage, and I had to come clean on how I got pregnant. My sister let him have it. She called him every nasty name she could think of. I love her for that. She wants me to get a restraining order, but even though he's 6'4", I can take him if he tries anything. Shane tried to reach out to me via text, Snapchat, and Instagram. I blocked him on everything. One of our friends sent me a text conversation between him and Shane where Shane said, "I wish I'd never moved out of that Wales apartment. It was much better than living with my effing dad again." So I'm guessing he needs a place to stay. Not my problem. I'm thankful for my friend defending me though. I start therapy on Monday. I didn't realize how bad off I was until I was asked to name a positive quality about myself, and I couldn't. I feel like constantly getting nasty messages on dating sites have broken me. Well, OP, I think you're in the clear here. I'd give you 0 out of 5 buttholes. However, I don't blame the friend who thinks you are a butthole for thinking that, because given the information that person knows, you were just kind of mean for no reason. So I wouldn't give that person a butthole score either. Shane, on the other hand, does deserve a butthole score for cheating and, just degrading you in general. So you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving Shane 3 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for calling the person who cut themselves a slice of my daughter's personalized birthday cake that was in the shared fridge at work a worthless piece of garbage? It's my daughter's birthday this weekend. I had to pick up her birthday cake yesterday before work, so I put it in the shared fridge with the intention to take it home when I knocked off. Although we have had a few incidents with stolen lunches, I didn't think that it would be an issue. It was a custom-made birthday cake with my kid's name on it, after all. So you can imagine my shock when I went to retrieve my lunchbox from the fridge and noticed that someone had cut themselves a slice of the cake. I lost it and went around questioning everyone, and no one admitted to it. No one saw anything either, and there aren't any cameras in there. I loudly said that whoever the culprit was, they're a worthless piece of shit, but my boss didn't appreciate that. Oh, well, in that case, we know who stole the cake. It was OP's boss. All right, this one's super easy. Stealing a kid's birthday cake is literally in the same category as stealing candy from a baby. It's Disney supervillain levels of just mean and evil. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the thief 3 out of 5 buttholes. Who on earth looks at a cake that's like, "Happy birthday, Elizabeth," and your name's not Elizabeth, and then you slice yourself a piece of cake? A psychopath? That was rSlash Am I the Butthole, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.